We're joined by Linfield College. They just won Game 12 of the 2012 NCAA Division III Softball Championship. We've got with us head coach Jackson Vaughn, catcher Emily Lepp, and pitcher Lauren Harvey. Coach, comments from you about this game, please.
That was a great game. Fun environment, neat team to play. Awful impressed with what they've done with 12 kids. That was a good team we beat. That was a good pitcher, and just the fans and the night game. I told our players after that was one of the more enjoyable games we played in a long time, just from a pure atmosphere standpoint. The game itself, as soon as the game started and they got that first run, and just watching their pitcher throw it, I thought it was going to be a pretty tough game. And our kids responded really well. We kind of pushed a couple runs across, and then obviously we had the one inning where they committed a couple errors, but we put some pressure on them with putting the ball in play, and we executed the squeeze in the inning, and just kind of got some things to go our way, just kind of pushing the envelope a little bit. And so that, I think, was kind of what broke the game obviously open, was when we were able to get ahead 5-1, and then just the game we got from Lauren. When you get in the losers bracket, it's just so hard to rely on one pitcher, and we've never really been a one-pitcher team, and so some of the teams are more prepared for it because their pitcher has thrown 30 games in the year, but we've split our pitchers, and so our pitchers really aren't prepared to just pitch every game we get in the losers bracket from a fatigue standpoint. So having Lauren come in and get 7 great innings out of her against a good team was certainly big for us today.
Right, we've got a couple members of the media here with us. Mark, please. Gene?
Lauren, just talk about, did you feel a lot of pressure out there, or you're used to sort of alternating?
Me and Karina used to alternating, but beginning of the game was kind of, I don't know how to describe it. I was a little surprised. I've never really been in that atmosphere before, and I just kind of had to relax and settle down a little bit.
They had a lot of fans here. Did you hear some of that?
I could hear it. Just the atmosphere was really, I don't know. It was exciting, and I think I just needed to relax, and I started to do that in the second inning, just go at my own pace and not let the crowd get me going at all or anything.
Rick, do you have any questions? Emily, let's talk about that home run. That we've seen a couple home runs come in there in the last 2 games that we've seen. A couple of them have bigger shots. Talk about when you have an at-bat like that and just go through it and what pitch you hit, and just you knew it right away, and it was just one of those that you could feel.
Well, my teammates, the hitters before me, kept coming in the dugout and being like, just wait for your pitch, just wait for your pitch. And so my first 2 pitches that she gave me were both balls, and then I don't know, the one she gave me was right down the middle. So.
Talk about a little bit of the difference between the 2 pitchers, because any chance you've had a chance to see Roanoke here in the tournament, it's been Kelly Higbee, and then see a pitcher that not many people have seen, but for all of 9 times or 8 previous times this year, this was her 9th appearance. Talk a little about the difference between the 2 and what you guys were talking about in the dugouts.
The first pitcher was really good. She kept the ball away from the plate, really good for us. And bringing in their second pitcher, that had to be hard, like coming from playing shortstop to pitching. So we were kind of just telling each other to wait for a good pitch and let her make mistakes. So that's what we talked about.
Coach, oh, go ahead, Rick.
I just wondered if you could comment on the atmosphere with the team. I was watching you all before the ball game. People were goofing around, shoving each other, playing out in front of the dugout before getting ready to go play an elimination game in the championship series. Talk a little bit about the atmosphere in the team right now and the attitude.
I mean, we really have nothing to lose, so we already lost one, and either we play stressed out and lose and go home, or we play relaxed and do our best. So I think we've all kind of just come to that realization, and we're just having a good time. We love being here. So.
All right, Coach, looking forward, now you've got a Montclair State team that you haven't seen yet, and then possibly going forward to a 9th contest with Pacific Lutheran. First off, talk a little bit about what you've seen from Montclair in this tournament so far, and what you could see tomorrow. And then, if you will, go against the coach's mantra and look a little bit ahead for me, too, at that possible final game.
Montclair State, Hill's another great pitcher. She does a really good job, and her rise ball's, pretty devastating. If she gets up in the count, she really has an amazingly effective rise ball, just kind of as a float, and very tempting to swing at. And she got POU to fly out on a bunch today, obviously. And And so she's going to be tough. I mean, we were laughing because we were like, well, we're facing Hill, another All-American pitcher, but that, that's after facing Fournier this morning, and then the Roanoke kid I would put in the same class. I mean, she's a good pitcher. We're certainly not going to have any less of an opponent tomorrow. I think the big thing for us is to be able to stay within our game and score some runs. They've struggled a little bit scoring runs here, so if we can get a good pitching performance and can put runs on the board early, I think that'll be big for us. But certainly I've been very impressed with her for sure. She's pitched great this whole tournament. To hold the PLU team that we know is a very good team, basically to 1 run through 12 innings is pretty impressive. So we have lots of respect for her. If we're fortunate enough to play PLU, there's no surprises. And at this point in the year, it's just we know them well enough. It's whoever plays better should win and deserves to win. And we really felt like we played good enough to win the game earlier in the tournament, but we didn't. And so now they have the advantage, and we'll have to beat them twice. But we're pretty confident if we can show up and hit the ball, we can beat anybody, and that'll be the test tomorrow. If we feel like our strength is our hitting, and obviously we have good pitching, but we feel like we're a very good offensive team. If we can show up and hit like we did last year and score 5 or 6 runs a game, we'll have a great chance to win.
Well, coach and players, thank you very much for joining us here, and good luck tomorrow in the tournament.
Thank you.
Joined by Roanoke College, they just played in Game 12 of the 2012 NCAA Division III Softball National Championship Series. We're joined by head coach Mike Mitchell, first baseman Aaliyah Beer, pitcher Kelly Higbee, and third baseman Catherine Corey. Coach, comments from you about this game, please.
Well, I think we came out tonight ready to play. We were very enthusiastic. We were having a good time. We just played a really good ball team, and it was going to be a battle all the way. I don't think the score really dictated on how close the game was, because at any time we could have busted loose, so it could have gone the other way at any time. So I thought it was a pretty good, hard-fought ball game. Not the cleanest in the world, but it was hard-fought, played with a lot of emotion. So that's what we like to play.
We've got a couple members of the media here, please. Mark Berman.
Guys, 4 errors today. How much you kind of walk away from this game thinking, yeah, we lost a good team, but we also kind of maybe hurt ourselves a little bit here?
I mean, I have no regrets about that game. I don't think any of us do. We left everything we had out on the field, and I mean, sometimes things didn't go our way, but we were fighting to the last out of that game, and I mean, I just think there's no regrets about that.
I totally agree. I mean, you watch the best ball clubs in the world, they're going to have errors. I mean, I think I wouldn't trade anything that's happened this weekend for anything, and we came out fighting. It didn't fall our way today. So, I mean, the errors, yeah, they happen, but they happen at any level of the game, any time of the game, so that's something you got to live with.
Kelly, how did you feel going out there today for a second time today? How did you feel in terms of control and velocity and so on?
I mean, a little tired, but I definitely think, all the energy and the momentum that we had coming into that game, definitely, I wasn't even worried about that, and the team was behind me. I know we had so much energy in that dugout. That's what we were feeding off of. It was such a great experience.
So, Kelly, how much do you think was you being tired versus how much was it, them being one of the best hitting teams in the country, and also obviously the errors that, you only gave up 1 earned run in the game?
I mean, I wouldn't blame it on being tired, because we've played doubleheaders all season. We've played more than 2 games in a day, so I wouldn't really say it's that. They're a good hitting team, and I mean, you can't take that away from them.
No, Matt, you said that was your error then. So what was your thinking there? That was, I guess the girl had hit the single left field, and she kept going. I guess and you were trying to nail her second base basically, and just.
Well, I mean, just being the aggressive team that we are, if you see a girl running, you're going to try to go after her. So, I mean, there's not much thinking involved in that. I just saw the runner and I threw it.
Like 4 errors today and 9 in this 4-game tournament there. You kind of leave this kind of thinking, geez, that was not typical Roanoke, I guess, or just kind of how much you kind of leave shaking your head about the defense.
We're aggressive. We play aggressive and wide open. And when you play that style, there will be games when you will make errors. But the thing is, you'll have games where you get those lead outs, and they're big outs where you can shut down an inning. Sometimes you'll give them a big inning, and sometimes you'll take a couple of big innings away from when you play our style of ball. So, we can play conservative and hold on to the ball, and it's a 1 or 2 run ball game. But, hey, we're going to take our chances, and we're going to come right at you, and we're going to try to battle you. And that's our style of softball. We're aggressive on the bases, we're aggressive at the plate, and we're aggressive defensively and pitching. So, errors with us is part of the territory because we are so aggressive and we will come at you. You know, they hit a couple of balls for base hits hard. The home run was one of them, but you know they had a lot of little bloops and bleeders. So you know if those are here or there and we can get to them and they don't have those, you know that ball game could change around. If we put a couple of hits together, we hit some shots right at their players and they made some great plays. Their center fielder tracked the ball down in the gap, made an amazing play. Now, plays like that will turn the game, and that's what happened.
Kelly and Leah, with 7 starters back next year, how kind of encouraged are you? Maybe this is the start of things to come for you guys.
I mean, it's definitely exciting, and I know this whole experience has been such a great one, and it's kind of, you know, let people know about Roanoke and, you know, who we are, and so it's definitely something that's going to make us step up and work and try to get back to where we are.
I think personally that, I mean, it's definitely a great start from where we are, but I think a big part of this team was the chemistry that we had going in. So as long as we can carry that chemistry on, and we're gonna, I mean, the ODAC's never anything, you know, any easy teams in there. So we gotta come out, we gotta keep working hard. There's no gimmies around here, so we gotta keep working hard and just play our ball.
Gene, Catherine, as a senior, just talk about leaving the number 4 team in the country. Did you ever think this was possible that you'd get here?
I mean, obviously, when you play, the ultimate goal is to get to the World Series and to play in the World Series. I mean, again, you know, I thank my team for, you know, obviously nobody ever wants to stop playing, but you know, my last game got to be under the lights of Moyer, a field that I played on for 4 years, with my family, with my best friends that I've had for 4 years, and it's been absolutely tremendous. I can't say enough about the team, about the program, about our fan support. I mean, we had 1,600 fans our first night. So I mean, again, you know, I'm upset because it's my last game. Obviously, I've been playing the game a long time, but if I'm gonna go out, I'm glad we went out this way and around a group of people that have just, you know, has done so much. Again, it was just 2 of us seniors. So you want to be honest, these guys are the ones that got us here, and I just, you know, I've been blessed to be a part of this journey.
Coach, did you talk about this honestly at the beginning of the year? Did you talk about getting here as part of your preseason motivational stump speech, or?
He knows him too well.
What?
He knows you too well.
Yeah. If you look at our history, we're successful. We've played in this 2 other times, so this isn't our first rodeo. We've been here before. It's been a while, but we've been here before, and our goal every year is to continue the winning tradition that we have at Roanoke. You know, we probably, if I'm not mistaken, hold the most ODAC titles in our conference. So it's not like this is a big surprise at Roanoke, hey, we're on top. Right. It's something that happens quite regularly. So when we sit down and put our goals on the board, World Series is one of our goals. Just hasn't worked out the last couple of years, but you know, these girls believed in it. They went to work to make it happen, and hey, we're here.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I mean, it's hard to do in the ODAC though, because the ODAC is such a tough conference. You know, if you look, 3 or 4 teams in our conference could have come up here and done the same thing that we did this weekend. You know, everybody's like, "Well, y'all did a great job." Yeah, it's like, you know, we got Wesleyan, we've got Bridgewater, you know, we got EMU, and all those guys, Lynchburg. And so, you know, it's just, I think we're taking a little bit lightly on the national stage, our conference, but it's a pretty well balanced powerhouse. You know, all of our losses except for Salisbury came in our conference, so it just shows you what we got.
Are you hoping maybe the success begets maybe get a few more bodies on the team next year, or?
Yeah, yeah, we hope so.
Hey, I'll go with this 11. We'll go with this 11 all day.
Yeah.
I'll go with this 11 all day.
Rick, please.
Yeah, we've got one senior here, but the other isn't. And it seems to me that catcher has provided a lot of leadership for this ball club. And Coach, when you and I spoke, he said that she really controls the tempo, the pace of the game, and works with the pitchers to keep them calm and focused. She pulled the whole team into the circle at one point. Talk about that leadership and what you're going to have to replace next year with her being gone.
It's going to be huge, but you know, we've already had players that's ready to step up. We, you know, teach our players, especially in the role of catchers, how to do that and work with their personalities. Or is their personality that tight for next year? You know, we'll find out next year when we get there. But it's going to be hard to replace the senior leadership that we had, because you know, they downplay a little bit, but we would not have been where we are today without that leadership. They're the ones that showed us the way. We just followed right along behind them.
Let's wrap this up here with two more comments. Same question, one for Kathleen, one for Coach. Talk about the pride you have in this team as a player, being a senior on it, and Coach, touch on that when she's done, please.
I don't even know if I can describe it. I mean, again, not to mention we haven't been here in a long time. Again, when they call the roster for their team, I mean, how long does it take? It takes them about 8 seconds to go through us. And, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Like, we came in here fighting, and, I love that. We're a scrappy team. We got the nickname Dirty Dozen. I thought that was perfect. I mean, not to mention our size, the heart that this team has. It's absolutely tremendous, and I don't doubt that it's carried us in certain situations when we weren't supposed to do certain things, or, I mean, again, these two especially, I mean, the whole team as a whole, but I mean, if you watch Kelly Higbee throughout the season, I swear she pitches better when runners on second and third. It's like she's tremendous, and that carries through the rest of the team. And it's just, again, I don't have enough words that I can describe the pride I have to be a part of this team. And I've talked to some of the alumni that have come back, and I'm looking forward to coming back and watch these guys do great things. They have the talent that's I'm leaving here. They are going to do tremendous things, and I couldn't be more proud of every single person that has been a part of this program.
Coach.
It's just been huge. I don't know how to describe what they're feeling. What they accomplished this year is what, as a coach, you try each team to believe in. We're backing each other up. We're pulling for the person beside us. We're, doing everything that we can, not for myself, but for the person that's next to me. And that is a rarity. It really is a rarity in sports for that, especially one where they keep stats and everything's so individualized. But this team put all that aside. It didn't matter how good they did themselves; it was how good they could make the whole team, and that's gonna be tough to recapture. Because that comes from your leaders. So our leaders will have to step up and bring that back next year.
Well, Coach and players, I thank you for joining us today. And congratulations on reaching this round of the National Championship Tournament.
Thank you.
Thank you.